All with UFOs showing up all over the globe, and Elon Musk crashing a SpaceX rocket directly onto the moon. You can imagine my surprise when I read that scientists issue a warning after spotting more than 20 giant UFOs racing across the moon. What do you even mean? What is this article? Bro, what is happening here? Astronomers studying the moon claim to have captured possible evidence of a technologically advanced non-human civilization on the freaking moon. They're not just talking about 20 UFOs that are massive flying across the surface of the moon. They're thinking there may be giant UFO bases on the moon. And this mofo just crashed a SpaceX rocket up there. How do you think they're gonna feel? Oh my gosh. Scientists at Ukraine's Main Astronomical Observatory reported observing more than 20 unidentified objects moving near and across the moon several months in 2025. Not once, not a couple of days, for several months in 2025. Craziness. Some of the disc-shaped objects were estimated to measure between 15 and 25 miles across. 15 to 25 mile. Bro, what is that? In a new study that has not been peer-reviewed yet, the team said they identified two categories of UFOs: atmospheric objects that appeared stationary and continental objects that appeared to move across the moon's surface. That's so interesting that there's stationary and moving objects up there. What are the stationary ones? The objects also appear to display unusual changes in brightness and rotation. The researchers argued that those patterns could indicate structured technological behavior and raised the possibility that the objects originated from a hidden base on the moon. So we're here talking about hidden moon bases, UFOs, and these are scientists. Granted, it's not peer-reviewed just yet, but soon it will be, and we'll get even more confirmation, which is crazy to me. Okay. UFOs are observed on Earth and near-Earth space. We believe that the moon serves as a base for UFOs, the team shared in the study. This is the scientific research team saying that. The researchers claim that these objects could reach Earth within 20 minutes and appear in the atmospheres as UAPs. They argued that the objects' apparently intelligent behavior could point to the existence of a technologically advanced civilization. That is insane to me. Is this one of them? In a new study, the peer review, the team, the continental pictured appeared to. These are the continental ones that appeared to move across the surface of the moon. This is what they looked like. And then I guess they did the math, which is why they have the graph here, and the background is the surface of the moon, which is how they could find out and detail exactly how massive this craft is. Roughly 25 miles is insane. While the scientists are sure the objects they observed were likely non-human craft, there is no scientific evidence of aliens or artificial structures on the moon. And that's the part that blows my mind, because these are scientists. They are doing the research. They're trying to get this paper peer-reviewed. And here we are saying there is no evidence of aliens or artificial structures on the moon. Well, if these researchers found it and it comes to be correct, then there is scientific evidence. Like, that's the whole point of this. So yeah, maybe not yet. Maybe that's the point of this paper. Like, hey guys, there's something up there. Let's classify it. And the thing is, like, there's no evidence of aliens or artificial structures. Well, it's not us. We don't live up there. So what do you think it is? Get out of here. Both NASA and the US government have long maintained that while some sightings remain unexplained, none has been confirmed to involve extraterrestrial technology. Researchers recorded the main group of more than 20 unidentified objects during two observation periods on September 7th, 2025, beginning at 7:05 p.m. and 7:27 p.m. Eastern Time. They reported detecting additional ring-shaped objects during a separate observation August 16th, 2025 at 2:52 a.m. Eastern Time. Both sightings were captured using a high-speed camera attached to a telescope in Vinarivka, a village in Ukraine's Kiev region. I hope I said that right. Sorry if I didn't. This is absolutely wild. And then the fact that they were captured on camera through a telescope it's just so crazy. Wow, the high-speed camera snapped 20 images every second, allowing the scientists to track the objects that would have otherwise been nearly impossible to see. The UFOs were so faint that some appeared as nothing more than 2 by 2 pixel speck against the moon's surface. And I feel like that falls into the fact that it's so far away. Obviously, we're not going to capture we're seeing the whole moon, and this thing is like, even though it's big to us, it's still a little speck to the moon's surface. But it means it's up there, and likely not something that got between the lens and the moon itself. It's like on the surface of the moon, which is, we don't have anything up there. Come on, this is crazy to me. We don't have evidence. This is the evidence! But the researchers claim that the objects were not behaving randomly. Those labeled atmospheric appear to remain locked in place as they moved in sync with the moon, suggesting that they were somehow anchored to its surface. Those could be the bases. And that's fascinating to me. That they were moving in tandem with the moon as well. That's definitely not something between the lens and the moon. That's something up there. These are the UFOs. Scientists in Ukraine, that's not more than 20 unidentified flying objects shown in white. Wow, so this is what the UFOs look like as they were taking pictures of them. And they saw them like moving across, and then you can see that they're like, so they can come off of the moon, and then there's stations that are on it, anchored to it. That's so crazy. They were moving near and across the moon several months in 2025. So they do fly across, but they also hover near it, which is, oh my gosh, okay. And I mean, I'm glad we're doing this research. I'm glad scientists are out there with telescopes and cameras and capturing this. I love when we capture stuff, and I love the UFOs we capture. We don't have the best equipment, and I feel like this has never been taken as seriously, so I'm glad. This feels like it's a very serious take on this topic, and I appreciate that. The report added that objects also emitted rapid flashes lasting between 1/10 and half a second. Wow. With their brightness rising and falling in repeating patterns that the team described as pulsing process. We've seen a lot of pulsing and flickering UFOs as well here on Earth. We see those videos every day. The study highlighted that 2 objects believed to be hundreds of miles apart appeared to flash in unison. Oh, as if they're linked and maybe communicating? Researchers said that the link was statistically significant, although the finding does not prove that the objects are communicating or controlled by intelligent beings. Who else is up there? Okay, I just don't understand. Well, then explain it. It's not other intelligent beings. What is doing it? What? I'm sorry, I'm so mad now. The team then used the amount of light reflected by the UFOs to estimate their potential size. Even under the assumption that they reflected 100% of the sunlight hitting them, the object would have measured approximately 1,440 feet across. That's wild. If their surfaces reflect light in the same way that the moon does, however, they could have been more than 1 mile wide. Wild. The scientists admitted that they did not know what the objects were made of, or how reflective they were, meaning their true size actually remains uncertain. Okay, but here we get the measurements, and we're seeing what these flash points look like, and they're using that light spectrum to measure. Some of the disc-shaped objects were estimated to measure between 15 and 25 miles across. That's absolutely crazy. That's a huge effing craft. That would be really cool, but also really scary. Oh my gosh, okay. The most extraordinary objects were those the researchers called continental UFOs, which appeared to race across the lunar surface. Come on, we saw that one UFO with the red light emitting on the moon, and we were a little iffy on it, but now researchers are like, bruh. One reportedly traveled nearly 14 miles in an astonishing 4.1 miles per second. Wow. 2 others appear to be massive disks measuring around 16 miles to 25 miles across, making the larger object nearly the length of Manhattan. Could you imagine that showing up in the sky? I would shit a brick. The brightness also rose and fell at repeating frequencies, which the team isolated from atmospheric interference and telescope tracking errors using specialized filter software. Okay, so they actually did their due diligence to make sure it wasn't a lens reflection or something, or refraction, or something between the lens and the moon itself. Like these things are in space, on the moon, flying across the surface. Okay, wow. A separate observation on August 16th, 2025 revealed something even stranger. Several enormous ring-shaped objects appeared against the daytime sky, barely visible until scientists enhanced the footage with false colors. The team claimed that the dark objects did not appear to emit light and instead absorbed nearly all the radiation striking them. Fascinating. Almost like a tool to protect them up there. Here's an image. Those labeled atmospheric, pictured above, appear to remain locked in place as they moved in sync with the moon, suggesting they were somehow anchored to the surface. I'm assuming this weird line is it, and it's anchored to the moon's surface. That's freaking weird. They appeared to complete a full rotation every 3 minutes and were estimated to measure roughly 22 miles across, while reaching speeds of 6.8 miles per second. Based on their size and rotation, the researchers calculated that the rings could generate centrifugal force more than twice as powerful as Earth's gravity, raising the possibility that they are producing their own artificial gravity. What? What? However, the remarkable findings rest on the assumption that the faint shapes were genuine objects near the moon rather than an atmospheric distortions, camera artifacts, or errors introduced during the imaging process. Which, again, I do get it, but it seems like these scientists, again, did their due diligence to try and prevent as many errors as possible. They were running proper filtration systems, they were capturing multiple images and multiple videos, not just one shot, changing their exposure, trying to get the best quality possible. Is there still room for error? Of course. Of course there is. But they were actually doing their best not to, and I feel like it makes it less likely that it was one of these processing errors, in my opinion. Craziness. The study has not yet been peer-reviewed, and its claims of giant technological advanced craft have not been independently confirmed. However, this just came up now, and I find it fascinating because it's coming up just as we crash a freaking rocket into the moon. But to be fair, with research and articles like this, and scientists doing their due diligence, and hopefully us getting a peer review on this paper soon, it does seem like the UFO phenomenon is being taken more seriously. And if what these researchers captured happens to be legit, something tells me we're going to know sooner rather than later. And personally, I appreciate that. That's so freaking cool. I mean, could you imagine you capture that yourself on a telescope? I would be freaking out.